Hello, my name is Dino Ray Ramos. I am with GLAAD. And congratulations on the premiere. I'm excited for this film. Arguably, there are a lot of firsts with Rez Ball, but it is a story rooted in Native American community and culture. And I think from Sydney and actors, y'all have different perspectives on this, but how did y'all navigate authenticity of culture and traditions while avoiding the trap of being the end all monolith of representation for the native community?
One of the things that's really great about this is that the genre is it's a sports movie, and so you have a familiarity for a lot of people with a lot of people have played basketball or they know people who have played basketball, and so or even the high school experience of playing high school athletics. That was kind of the entry point that makes it accessible and can invite audiences who aren't necessarily from this walk of life to experience this film. And so for us it was really like leaning into those aspects of a sports movie, but being as authentic with our storytelling as we could. And so, like, what do I mean by as authentic? It was really about drawing from our own personal experiences growing up, and that meant showing the good stuff and the not so good stuff, because you need both to get the full experience. And it was just about being as real and honest as possible.
What I felt, coming from GLAAD, obviously I'm going to connect with this queer storyline. But what I liked about that was that it was just in the fabric. It wasn't like this whole hinging thing about the coach's life. But for Sydney, how important was it for you to include kind of this very subtle queer narrative, but it was always present in there and not have it be presented as the hinging factor of the end all of the movie?
I mean, again, it just sort of goes back to authenticity and wanting to tell a story. It was a with Coach Heather Hobbs, we wanted to portray her, sort of as matter of a fact style as possible. It wasn't, we weren't trying to, break new ground in terms of our storytelling. And so again, it doesn't go back into the what, it goes into the how. And so I think that, just trying to make things as quote unquote normal as possible was kind of the idea behind that.
We got private screenings, and I gotta say there's a huge difference watching it on your laptop to like a big screen. And I was like, oh, okay, the full effect. Definitely a welcomed experience because I think we all hoped that it's gonna touch a lot of people in the right way.
Well, not only to have it be a live audience, but to have it be at, one of the biggest and best festivals in the world, TIFF, has really been a crazy experience, walking down the street and just feeling the buzz in the air and the commotion, and to be able to sell out a theater that sits over 1,000 people, and then to, sit and experience the movie with all of them and sort of take that ride with a live audience after having done this film over 16 months ago. It was just something that I'll never forget. I'd never seen anything like this, and had I seen something like this, I would have just been so inspired and filled with so much pride. And it would have been something for me to share with my friends who maybe aren't familiar with the culture that I come from, and to share that with them, and then also to share it with the people who can relate to it. And for us to wear around like a badge of honor, to have our Jimmy holiday.
Just that there's a safe space to grieve. I don't think it's necessarily an indigenous thing, but in a lot of cultures, feeling that safe space to grieve when you're going through a tragedy. In this film, the safe space is the court in a lot of ways, and the friendship between these boys too, the camaraderie and all that. I think that's something I would have loved to have seen growing up, because growing up, it was so isolating at times, because you think you're the only one going through it. So my experience being on court, because I played basketball too when I was younger, was it felt very individualistic, so that I had to sort out my aggression and my sadness and hurt on my own, even though I was amongst a bunch of people. So a film like this is showing how you could collectively do it together.